Hi, I'm Bruce Lorenz, and this show's called Bruce on the Loose. We're in the new 5th and 6th grade intermediate building. And Steve, I was here in the fall, and boy, what a change. What a difference.
It's come
Steve
It's
Moore?
come a long way. It's good to see you, Bruce. But
Jesse,
Good to see you, Bruce.
and your last name again was
Timophobia.
Timophobia?
Yeah.
Brandon Cobb, you're going to inherit this, aren't you?
Really excited.
I mean, you have to be on cloud nine about this. Boy, I tell you what, where are we right now, Steve?
So here's where we're at. So we're standing in our commons area, right?
Okay.
In this behind us is going to be the lunchroom.
Okay.
And way in the back down there is the kitchen area. But this is really kind of behind the cameras where the main entrance coming in. So
Right,
this
right.
is really going to be the main hub of our
Right.
building. All points are going to kind of lead right here to the commons area, kind of similar to what our high school is right now, where everything kind of leads to the commons area, and then everything kind of feeds off of it. Now, kind of back over here is going to be a courtyard. We've got over here to the right is our auditorium, and the
Right.
kitchen area. The gym's back right off of here, and band and choir room. So everything just kind of going to lead from this
Right.
area here. So it's going to be, it's going to much better than our current intermediate school.
Right.
Going to have several,
Right.
probably seating for the entire student body, 350 to 400 kids at a time. But it's really going to be the nice hub of where everything's going to start. They'll start their day in here, and they'll kind of disperse to the academic wings and where they need to go. So this is a good spot.
We can't thank the community for backing this building and voting for the bond issue,
Right.
and our community really values education.
Right, and absolutely, and this building is really coming along very nicely. It's we're still on track. We're on track. I know Jesse will kind of update us a little bit, maybe. In August, real excited with the budget. I know we went through a little bit of budget issues early on in the
Sure,
process,
right.
but since that's been corrected, we are really on good shape budget-wise. A lot of the things that we've wanted to get into this building, we're getting into the building. Some of the stuff that got cut out through the process is going to come back into the building a little bit. So a lot of things, a lot of work still to be done. But as we're in mid of March here today, it's really exciting that spring is upon us, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel to where we'll see. So and as you see in our background, a lot the red, you're going to see a lot of theme of red
Right,
and white
right.
here in our building. So it's really going to be a nice. Kids will be excited when they get a chance to walk in here.
Jesse, it wasn't very easy when we go through a pandemic, and construction is, Wadsworth needs a new 5th and 6th grade building. How did you kind of work around that? And did some suppliers come around and get materials to you then a little readily?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, credit to the entire team, and a lot of the contractors we employ here, we have long-running relationships with. So they all got on board, worked diligently to rebid the job and bring everything back under budget. And like Steve said, the good news is we are within budget and we are on track to open in the fall. So
It seems like, doing a show before, it seems like there's quite a good rapport, working relationship with the construction company and the school district.
absolutely. I can't say enough good things about the school district, the board. Every one of them we have our bi-weekly meetings here, and they're nothing but supportive of the construction team and the construction process. So many thanks to the school district.
Speaking of meetings, Brandon Cobb, I'll bet you've had some meetings with your staff, and little by little you're gearing up to move in.
Yeah, we've had some meetings. We started at the beginning of this whole project with meeting and really talking about our current spaces at the current CIS and what our dreams and wishes were for Wadsworth Intermediate School. So we've come a long way. I do want to also commend our construction company, Hammond, and our architects, Halliburton Root, just kind of working with those dreams and wishes and really making it a reality. But it is a team effort, and we've worked with the board, we've worked with our superintendent, and we're getting closer and closer to being excited for what's up ahead.
Can you gauge the enthusiasm of the staff? We're not talking just the teachers, but the support staff, and you have people coming and going in specials. I'm sure they're getting pretty ratcheted up for the start.
Yeah, I tell everyone we want to do a nice job in our current building with this current group, because the sixth graders, that's the only building they're going to know.
Right.
But there are many people that are at different points in their career, and you got some teachers and staff members who honestly have spent their whole walk through this building several times. They are getting excited, and again, it's really connecting what we do currently with our students and what we wish and what we want to do, and this building is going to be a mesh of those two worlds.
No question about it. Steve, it seems like I drive by every once in a while. It seems like the building is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Is there a reason for that?
Well, the reality is that when you start seeing pieces being put on the building,
Right.
is it really is taking shape tremendously. Spent a lot of time, and you mentioned it a little earlier, but echo the sentiments that Brandon was saying. Working with our construction team and with our design team has been really excellent. I mean, all three entities have to agree and work together. It's been rocky. I mean, there's ups and downs. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, what we've done is really try to preserve what we wanted to have when we started this whole process. We really have not taken out a lot of the stuff from our academic areas that have affect kids. All the budget reductions and things that we've done, we've tried to stay away from kids as much as possible and really make it a very productive building that's going to be accessible for our kids, because it's a new age of education.
Right.
Central Intermediate School, people love Central Intermediate School. Right. It's time to move on. That building has seen its better days. It's time to be done. Brandon and the staff there has done a great job of making it special, but they're going to make it special here. This facility is going to make it easier to make it special for them because of all the amenities that are kind of up to speed with what we expect out of Wadsworth City Schools and what we have in some of our other buildings. So it's coming along, Bruce. It's going to be here before we know it, but it's coming along nicely.
And then the support staff, the
Yep.
cafeteria,
Oh, yeah.
secretaries, bus drivers, have they been apprised of some of these changes upcoming?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we actually it's what's another exciting part of our job here is bringing some of the groups in and showing them. Kelly Knapp and Beth Snyder bringing them in there, talking about our kitchen area and showing them the difference in just 100% upgrade. I mean, it's going to be nice to have the bus loop, the safety that we're going to have with our bus loop. And I know people are worried about traffic on the premises, but it's going to be incredibly safer here on our campus than it was down in our older building at CIS. So everything, and yes, all those groups have been a part of the process. They've been in and out of the building a little bit. They've been in and out of the discussions. We try to keep them in the loop as best we can, because when changes have to happen, we want them to be part of that solution process. And sometimes it has to happen, but the reality is those groups have been really part of it, and they've been excited. And as you see it, when you walk in this whole building, you just can feel the energy and the excitement that you can think about what's going to happen here this fall.
Jesse, what's the next stage? We got the roof, and you're diligently, and I go by and I see more and more people here. How many people are on site working right now?
So lately we've been averaging about 75 to 90.
Wow, that's
people
quite
on
a few.
site.
That's more than before. It was like 35 or 40.
Correct.
So really, it's almost tripled the number of people you've had.
That's
and
correct.
What are they doing now, currently?
We're doing a little bit of everything. So most of the structural steel and the shell of the building is complete. So right now we're into the interior finishes. So we have our drywall finishers, carpenters, plumbers, everyone is doing it's a mad dash down to the end because we are in good weather, thankfully. So we're really hit our stride. And so right here where we stand, next week we're going to start putting up acoustical panels in here, and that will involve the carpenters, the drywall finishers, and some of the specialty contractors that we have on site. And there will still be work going on everywhere else in the building.
Acoustical panels. You mean the fifth and sixth graders are talking and dancing and doing all sorts of things at lunch?
Yeah, I mean, this building is really state of the art.
Yeah,
I believe they'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, no question about it.
The kids will have a very, very good experience.
Yeah, no question about it. The teachers, again, Brandon, they're really gung-ho and ready to go. And I'm sure if somehow there might be a couple openings, people probably line up and say, hey, I want to be in that.
Our goal is going to remain the same, to meet needs, make an enriched education come through. We are blessed. We have all the students the students in here and the staff in here and really make this our new home is just going to be a fantastic experience. Again, I told you, we are getting excited. You know, as you start to think about spring break, then you have limited time coming up after that. So our teachers right now are currently starting to pack. They're starting to throw things away. We've been buying lots of tape, right? We've been working on packing everything up. So we're super excited. And as the pieces come together and you start to see the dynamics of this building, it's just, you get more and more excited each week.
Tell me more about the teachers with their own personal items. Would the district be shipping it up here? Will they bring it up? How will that work?
Well, and I mentioned it before, there's some teachers that have been there for many, many years. So this is a good time, if teachers are watching right now, to purge items, okay?
Yes.
So our goal is for them to purge a lot of items. If
Right,
you haven't
right.
used them in the last couple of years,
Right.
trends change, you need to probably get rid of it.
Okay.
So we're working on that. But there's, you know, if you're a language arts teacher, you have a lot of books, you might have bookcases, you might have a table that you use. So we're working with each teacher, each department to make sure that we have the things they need coming up to the building. So a lot of personal items so they don't get broken will go home. But our goal is to make a swift move here this summer and get all their items up here and be ready for the school year.
Sounds good. Steve, this has to be really a feather in your hat. You see it from the ground floor all the way to fruition.
Yeah, it's been really nice. We've been part of some projects. I have personally been part of some, but really to see it from the start to the
Right,
finish is
right.
really exciting to see. And you know, when we talked about this 2 years ago, we started sitting there in the drawing boards and talking about how this is going to be, and then you start seeing the
Right.
drawings and you start having the conversations and the bids. And now that we can walk through it and kind of see, it's really exciting. Because a lot changes every 2 weeks that we come in through here. We come in here every week, every 2 weeks or
Right.
whatever to look and see, and just it's exciting to have it be. A lot of people have made it come to here to today, and so it's just really exciting that we're ready to get rolling and get ready to go. So,
And the community, we have a theater that
Oh, yep.
is going to be used.
Yep.
Also, all sorts of other activities going on here. The band probably concerts will be here
Yep.
because a little bigger gym, I believe.
right, yeah, the auditorium is going to be 1,000-seat auditorium
Right.
as opposed to 750 at the high
Right.
school. So, and the auditorium is going to be the last thing that gets done
Sure,
here,
sure.
probably in December-ish as the upcoming school year. But the idea is that yes, because we're all on the same campus, we can share the facility, you know, and have this. So our musical, when it sells out over there, we have 250 extra
Right,
seats here.
right.
So our spring and fall choir concerts or spring and Christmas choir concerts can be over here or over there. Being able to use this when our 5 through 12 student bodies all on one campus, it's going to be able to share those spaces, to share the resources, and it's really going to be a nice Grizzly campus. You know, I know that Mr. Cobb, we're labeling this the Grizzly campus
Right.
as what we are, so this is real exciting for us to have everybody kind of in one area as we go. We still have the neighborhood concept with our elementary schools, which we love, but also to get them all up here together as when they become Grizzlies is really exciting for us, and to be able to do it. And so it is exciting. It's thrilling. A lot of work still to be done, but you know, we're really ready to get started on that and ready to be going.
And the 5th and 6th grade schedule isn't the same as a high
Right.
school. So, I mean, there's going to be congestion,
Right.
but it's not, it could be worse.
Right. And what people need to realize with the traffic side, it really is this. Everyone views the traffic at 7 to 7:30 a.m. slot or 2 to 2:30. That's 6 grade levels we have coming on this campus. This building is only 2 grade levels, and it's at a completely different time. It is after the start of the high school day,
right.
and it ends after the high school and middle school day is over. The traffic, it'll be elongated, but what I'll tell you is the reality is, you know how to get around our campus. People currently know how to get around the campus.
Right.
You know the times to avoid. You're gonna learn that here at CIS. But the traffic flow is going to be much better. Currently at CIS, we're staging on Route 94. Drives the city nuts. We're all going to be in our own campus here. We're not going
Right,
to stage on
right.
Broad Street. Everything's going to be on our own campus. So at certain times of the day, you just want to come up here when you're involved with our school functions. Having the YMCA where it is phenomenal. It's been great. The YMCA membership is huge, and I firmly believe it's because we have the school here with them. So it's a nice partnership. The challenging thing that we have with that is parking. You know, everyone wants to park by the front door. There's plenty of parking on our campus. We're expanding some more parking here for the campus, but you just have to walk a little bit. That's what it's going to be,
Yeah.
no matter where you're at.
What about that property that used to be on the corner there? Was that purchased by the school? right across the street?
Right, yeah, right, yes, we have, yes, we did purchase that. That used to be the old barn was
Right,
there.
right.
Yeah, we have purchased that, and again, the hope at some point in the future, and hopefully near future, is to make that a little bit of an entranceway for overlook.
All right.
You know, kind of it lines right up with the high school entrance.
Right.
That's what we're working towards, and giving them some extra parking there, because we need a better scenario over there at Overlook. That's part of the whole discussion and the strategic plan that's coming up with our community, is to talk about that further in those types of developments. But yeah, having that all, again, up here in one area is going to be a nice spot.
Steve, Jesse, and Brandon, we've learned a lot so far, but we got a little bit more to go. We'll take a break now and come back to another area. Thanks for viewing. Back with the 5th and 6th grade. What is going to be the official name of this building, Brandon?
That's a great question. It's going to be Wadsworth Intermediate School.
Oh, Wadsworth?
On the
Okay.
Grizzly campus or the
Okay.
Wadsworth campus.
Okay, so the old building, the teachers really had difficulty. I hear even heating and cooling was a difficulty. You won't have that problem here, will you?
No, we won't. And I will give credit to our maintenance department, Brett Tanner and our maintenance department. They've kept us up and running, whether it's a leak or HVAC. So we're making it to the finish line, but we're hoping, obviously with the new building, that those issues are not the same issues we're having there at CIS.
We have a hallway here and classrooms off to the side. What is this large area we're standing in right now? What is going to be here?
Yeah, so we're standing right now. This is the 5th grade house. We're on the top floor. This is called an ELA, not language arts. It's an extended learning area. And this will be an area where students are able to come out of the classroom and work and have comfy seating or tables, be able to even sit on our stairs here. Lockers are around us also. So this is just like that extended area for students. The way we schedule things, our kids are in 80-minute blocks, kind of a block schedule. So there's time built in for work time, and we want kids to have opportunities to find a comfy seat and be able to work.
You know, there's been a lot of studies on block schedules, and really the bottom line is that with extended time, there's a lot more learning going on. You don't have those breaks, and you don't go from 45 minutes or 47, and then you're changing.
Yes. Yeah, there's always research to defend any narrative, right? But I would just say that with that, it's important for our kids to have breaks in between. So, 20 to 30 minutes at a time is probably ideal for this age range. So again, trying to find ways to continue to stretch their learning, but also keep them motivated and engaged.
And Wadsworth looks at the grades a little bit differently. Somehow, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th were kind of plunked together, but 5th and 6th graders are unique, aren't they? They're different than the middle schoolers and the high schoolers.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference we have is, when you go to middle school, your schedule might have 6 different classes.
Right.
When you're here at Wadsworth Intermediate School, you're going to have a team, so your team gets to know you really well, but you're block scheduled. Our grades, we aren't on the standards-based grades. We are on more of a typical grading grade card. So that is something our kids get used to. They check their grades all the time, and they all have one-to-one Chromebooks. So they have access to always be on checking their grades and making sure their assignments are accounted for.
So if they don't check, their parents are probably checking one
You got
or
it.
the other. And our parents are very significant in the learning process, aren't they?
Absolutely. And that's a part of this that we don't talk enough about.
Right.
This is great for our families. Our families have high expectations of us here in the Wadsworth City Schools, and we have high expectations for ourselves, and that trickles down to our students. And I do think our parents and our families are going to be excited about this new building and just a better learning environment. It's amazing when a kid comes into Wadsworth. Some of them have never had a school with a wooden floor, the old CIS. And this building was needed. This is the last missing piece, in my opinion, for our school district. So it's just super exciting for our families all around.
And parents are certainly encouraged to come. The open house, I'm sure you'll have standing room only. They can't wait to see this new facility. And that has to make the staff really excited to do their thing.
Yes, I agree. I think people are going to want to get in. They're going to want to see the building. They're going to want to be present in that learning process. I think we've made an effort in the last couple of years to really engage our families more and more. It's harder to do as kids get older and those opportunities become fewer and farther apart. But we've really done a good job. We're going to continue that next year. Looking forward to really getting our families in here and allowing them to enjoy this process.
All right, who helps you? You can't be the person that come up with all these ideas. Do you have an assistant? And how about your counselors, secretaries? Let's not forget those support people.
You know, you bring up a good point. There's about 85 staff members at CIS. I can't do it without all of them. Right? I need them all. And I will just, the people that I work closest to each and every day would be our assistant principal, Krista Goddard-Halicki, who was a middle school teacher, and now she's our assistant principal. She's a fabulous leader, and she's doing a great job. Our secretary team, Sarah Snyder in the main office. We have Kelsey Lanham, who's our 504 clerk, and then our attendance clerk is Laura Long. Our counselors, we have some great counselors, Ashley Bonifant and Lindsay Rohrbach. But then we have, like you said, and you talk about those support staff. I always tell our aides and our kitchen staff and our custodians, they hold our building up. They're the backbone. They make it all happen. So, and then obviously you can't do without the teachers. The teachers are sharing their passion for whatever the content is they're teaching. But it's 85 people roughly working together to make it all possible for, right now 615 kids.
We can't forget the bus drivers. We got to get them there
Yes.
on time. We got to get them home safe and sound, don't we?
Yes.
Not an easy job being a bus driver.
No.
What about the rooms here? How square footage are the rooms? And is there always teachers would ask me, I don't have enough storage. Where's my storage?
Okay, that's a great question. So I don't know if we'll ever solve the storage dilemma, right? I think if you're running out of storage, you probably have too much stuff, and that's where we're trying to purge our stuff. The classrooms are all around the same size. They're right around 875 square foot. It's amazing when you come in here. Teachers feel like, wow, these are large. I think we've done a nice job of integrating some of the cabinetry. And each classroom has a sink, which is kind of a big deal, especially with allergies and different things that we're working.
In the sciences.
In the sciences,
right,
yes.
Right.
So, but yeah, they are a nice sized classroom, and unlike our current school, they're all kind of equal, which is nice. I think that was when we worked through the process. Everybody got a voice at one point or another, and it was kind of like, let's make these classrooms more similar and alike than different.
And it makes the teachers feel like their voices are heard. Not only do they have a voice, but you go ahead and put what they suggest into fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember Halliburton Root, they came for the first visit of CIS, and they were walking around the building, and they said to me, what do you want in your new building? And I'm first year back in Wadsworth, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I think everyone in here needs to tell us what we need, because it's based on what you don't currently have and then what we want to preserve.
Brandon Cobb, I really enjoyed the little tour, and we'll have to come back when we're ready to move in. How's that sound?
Sounds great, Bruce.
Sounds good. Thank you for viewing Bruce on the Loose, and we will have another show, possibly Firestone Stadium coming up.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.